right, I'm sitting here with Darrin the Destroyer Rossouw, 6-0 as we sit here today. How's the year been for you?
The year has been great. We've been working every day. We fought now. That's my third. It was my third fight in September. Now we're going for the fourth one. So I'm happy with the progression of my career. We've been putting in the work, and we've been getting the results as well. So the year's been great for me.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, still an undefeated fighter, but you're taking your first big step, I'd say, of your career in terms of Jacques Mavud from the DRC. You fought one of your teammates, Koopman, in the past and fought him to a pretty close result. You're obviously going to want to step up your performance from your last fight against Sheldon Schultz.
Yeah. No, Jacques Mavud is a good fighter, a very good step up for me from Sheldon Schultz. We're ready for whatever he brings. Jacques Mavud, you must come, because I've been saying that I'm ready for everyone in the division. So now it's my time to show what I'm made of, and that'll happen on the 9th of December.
Yeah, so it's about showing yourself to the public as well. People are going to want to see if you can pass a test. I suppose it's like one of those barometers to see where you're at in your career. But are you confident you go 7-0 by the end of the night?
I'm very confident that I go 7-0. I've been looking good in the gym. This is actually my hardest camp, because everyone has been coming off fights. So everyone is fit coming into our camps now for December, because I think the whole gym is fighting. So we are ready. We are ready for this fight.
And let's talk about what improvements you would have made between the last. I know they're very close turnarounds there because you're quite an active fighter, but what sort of improvements have you made in that time?
So we've worked on a lot of my defensive work. From my last fight, it was lacking on the defensive department. My discipline outside of the ring, according to my diet and that, we've worked a lot on that. I've joined a strength and conditioning coach as well, Darrin Rossouw. So we're good. We're good on a lot of fronts now. We're ready on all fronts actually. This is just the start of a great career now. We're going into the intermediate phase now, and then we'll get those titles next year.
When you started the year with ESPN at the beginning of the year, I'm sure you would have imagined how many fights you were going to have, see where you're ending. Has it all gone according to plan for you?
Yeah, 100%. We looked at this year. When I was in January, we looked at the year and we said, okay, no, we have to get about 3 to 4 fights, and now we're getting the fourth one now. So this is very good for my career, because as a young fighter, you need those fights. You need a lot of fights in a year to get that ring experience, and I feel like I've gotten that, and now I'm getting a more experienced opponent, tougher opponent, and it's a nice step up.
When you think about yourself and you think about ESPN, it almost goes hand in hand together. You've been working with each other. Is it going to continue next year, the relationship?
Yes, from what it looks like, 100%. ESPN's been great to me, been great to the team, very professional. So I think we're ready to go on to, once I beat Jacques Mavud, we going to be in talks for next year again.
And let's talk about a fight that everyone was talking about, which was you at Takosi Plakis. It hasn't managed to materialize. Do you still see that happening? I know you guys are friends and you used to spar back in the days, but is that a fight that interests you in the future?
Yeah, definitely. It's a fight that interests me in the future. Unfortunately, it couldn't happen this year, but maybe next year. I don't know. Whenever they're ready, because I'm ready now. So whenever they're ready, we'll speak to ESPN. They'll send the contract.
And I know with your gym, Koopman has the SA title. Are you wanting a belt next year? Do you want to do that move, or are you still feeling like you need to build a little bit longer?
No, I think I want the belt. It doesn't really have to be SA title, but I want a belt next year. If not one, then two. I don't want to leave the year without a belt.
Have you spoken to Shavante? Because I mean, I'm sure he's on to also bigger belts in the future now. Have you spoken to him about the situation?
No, I haven't spoken to him about the situation as of yet, but the managers have been speaking to each other about it. But there's also a few other names in the mix now that's in our gym, so we don't know if who's going for which title right now. but we are gonna see who's going for what title probably next year.
Right, so it's a big year in terms of that for you. As you mentioned, you're into the intermediate phase of your career. How do you see your performance against Jacques Mavud playing out? And I know that watching Koopman, he is a very strong fighter, so I wouldn't say total dominance on my assessment. What is your assessment?
So I think I outbox him for most of the rounds. I will outbox him, and I just need to fight my fight. Jacques Mavud is a tough fighter. I think he's a later round fighter, so it's an 8-rounder, my first 8-rounder. So we'll see if I'm ready on the night. I believe I'm ready for whatever he brings. So he must bring the power, he must bring his experience. I'll be there waiting for him.
After December's passed now, and are you going to go back to Eastern Cape? Are you going to stay in Joburg? What's the plan?
So I'll go home after the fight, and then I'll stay active. I'll stay active in the gym at home, running and all that, and then I'll come back early January. Maybe, hopefully, we get a fight in Feb or March.
That'll be a nice start to the year. So a similar sort of activity to what you had this year, 3 or 4 fights, would sound like a good year next year as well.
3 or 4 fights sounds like a good year, depending also on how the fights go and the rounds. So we're looking at a good year next year. Let's get past this fight, and then we'll see what happens next year.
Darrin, can we get a message for Jacques Mavud before you step in the ring with him?
Yeah, Jacques. Hope you're ready for the fight. Thank you for taking the fight. We are ready for you. We've been working hard in this camp, so we'll be standing there across each other from the ring. So yeah, I'll see you in the ring.
All right, and then lastly, Darrin, you know the usual. Thank you. Shout out for anybody.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to my dad, thank you ESPN. I want to say thank you to Coach Vusi. Damn, he's been a great help in this camp. He's been pushing in the gym, pushing me to my limits. I want to say thank you to my strength and conditioning coach, Donnie Dupree. You've been amazing. You've taught me many things, even though it's strength and conditioning, but it's helped a lot in for my body and my mindset coming into this fight. So thank you everyone, and come fight night, I'll win again.